Hello, my friends. Today we're going to talk about the next thing in the book Influence by Robert Cialdini. It's called social proofing. Let's start by a few examples of what it means. Social proofing is when you copy other people just because they're doing something and the person tries to do it themselves. For example, if my neighbor has a BMW and I have a Toyota, the goal of my life becomes to buy a BMW. Did I always wanted a BMW just because it's German, nice quality or whatever? Not really. It's just because my neighbor had one and he was repeatedly talking about it. So I thought, okay, well, I want a BMW as well. It may not have any emotional or any rational thinking behind it. It's just something that I did because my neighbor is doing it. And for example, we buy books that are best-selling books, New York Times bestseller. But do we buy it because it's a good book? It will change our lives. It will teach us something that we didn't know, or just because a lot of people liked it and we assume that, okay, because it is a bestseller, it must be a good book. Even though there are a lot of books in the market that are very good, but they're not the best sellers. Another example is people overcome phobias by social proofing as well. For example, if I'm afraid of heights and everyone in my family is jumping from a plane, I buy a ticket and I jump from a plane, and I never wanted to do it. The very act scared the bejesus out of me, but I still did it because my family was doing it. It's a good example. We mimic aggression as well. Everyone's angry in the room. We get angry and then no one really remembers why it started. But because it has started, everyone's angry and the battle is going strong. Now, we sometimes have to guard against it. The thing I wanted to talk about, which is very interesting, is that sometimes because of social proofing, we get into a cycle where we destroy ourselves financially. For example, I buy the most expensive cars, I buy the most expensive phones, 400,000 rupees or $4,000 phones, just because I want to look rich. Now, this may look great in the moment, but 10 years, 20 years down the line, some of the people I know may become millionaires by just investing what they have in things that appreciate in value. Well, I might be losing a lot of money like that, and at the end of the 30 years, I'll have nothing to show for it. The car will keep losing its value. The phones will keep losing their value. All the other depreciating assets will have nothing to show for them after a few years. But why did I do that? To show off, to copy other people. That is not a very financially savvy thing to do, is it? I've seen a lot of people in my life who have nothing now, but used to make a lot of money back in the day because they didn't understand investing and they didn't understand how social proofing was ruining them. They're ruined now and don't have a pension plan or anything. Next thing that we want to talk about is this actually influences herd behavior as well. Now let's talk about what is herd behavior. Herd behavior is when, for example, there's a cow and the cow starts running. The next cow starts running. The third cow starts running. And the fourth cow doesn't even know why the first three cows are running, and the fourth cow starts running as well. Now, there are 50 cows running, right? And now there are 100 cows running, and the 200th cow have no idea why everyone's running, but it's running because running is important, because everyone's running, right? Herd mentality is something that actually happens a lot. Political herd mentality, economic herd mentality. The reason why stock markets rise in bubbles to a level which is unsustainable and then fall extremely in bad times, it's the same reason, herd mentality. No one knows why it started, but it has started, and now the pattern goes on and on and on, and eventually a level or a time comes which is completely irrational price. It happens in real estate bubbles, it happens in stock market bubbles. Now, for those who are interested in general valuations of these things. I will be making videos later on breaking these things, what my understanding from my practical experience and from the fact that I've read a lot of books on these things. I will be talking about that later at some stage, but the content of this video was made to cover the topic of social proofing from the book Influence by Robert Cialdini. If you have any questions, let me know. Please like and subscribe all of my social media pages for more information, so that I have more motivation to keep going and sharing what I know with you. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourself.